Ladies and gentlemen, we're in mid-January, so you know what that means. It's time for the road to WrestleMania. The wrestling world is on fire right now. It's not only about WWE, okay? AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, whatever promotion, the wrestling world is on fire. More and more people are getting interested. There are deals going left and right, rumors, everything, and I'm here to cover it all. So let's jump straight into the action. Talk about what happened in the past week ever since the first episode of the Villain Arc. Let's go through the recent rumors, what's coming up in the next few weeks and the next few months, and yeah, let's just react to stuff all together. Quick reminder: this episode is also available on Spotify. It will be in the description. You can check the link, or you can just search up Villain Arc in Spotify. You'll be able to listen to it if you don't want to watch my pretty face. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to this past Friday night on Smackdown, where we saw the return of a lot of individuals, actually. Okay, for a couple of months now, there had been rumors of Authors of Pain, okay, for also known as Akam and Razor, possibly returning to WWE, but it was never like concrete. It was never certain. Um, there were rumors they could return in NXT, to Raw, to SmackDown, etc. But nothing happened for a lot of time. Okay. Akam and Razor, the Authors of Pain, were a very dominant tag team in NXT. They won the gold. They had some pretty solid matches. They joined the main roster, had a couple of great matches, and their main last push was when they joined Seth Rollins in late 2019, early 2020, forming this big stable that never got a name with Seth Rollins, Authors of Pain, and Buddy Murphy. But it was never like concrete. It never led to anything or whatever. And Seth Rollins ended up going alone not so long after that. And this past Friday night on SmackDown, we had the new Hurt Business, if you want to call it that. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits in the ring, talking about the Royal Rumble, talking about a lot of stuff. It was gonna be their year. They were gonna dominate. Blah blah blah. And then suddenly, lights shut down, cool ambience, and then when we look towards the entrance ramp, we see Karrion Kross. We see Scarlett Bordeaux. Okay, Scarlett, who is Karrion Kross's wife in real life and has been his manager for almost forever. Okay, we see them appear, and then third person we see appear is Paul Ellering. Okay, Paul Ellering is very known in the wrestling world. He was active a long time ago. And in NXT, he was known as the manager of the Authors of Pain. So now we see Karrion Kross, Scarlett, and Paul Ellering. As soon as everybody sees Paul Ellering, they're like, Authors of Pain must be back. And then when the camera cuts back to the ring, we see the Authors of Pain jumping Lashley and the Street Profits from behind, attacking them. Kross gets in the ring, and they all start fighting, and blah, blah, blah. So we have a new stable in WWE, which is formed of Karrion Kross, the Authors of Pain, Scarlett, and Paul Ellering. It's very interesting, okay, first of all, because the WWE Tag Team division right now is not, it lacks a little. They're not doing too much with the Tag Team Championships. And the Authors of Pain, in my opinion, are great contenders to hold those championships, okay? If eventually WWE decides to actually split those titles and, come back with having Raw Tag Team Championships and SmackDown Tag Team Championships, well, the Authors of Pain could very well be the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And you could also give it to the Street Profits. They could have a great rivalry as they're having right now. And I actually see a lot of potential with this. And then Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross could very well be the next United States champion, or with a solid push, okay, with the right help, he could even be world champion eventually. Is he gonna be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns? Probably not. But I've always liked Karrion Kross, and I think he has a bright future in the business. But it's up to the WWE at this point. They just got to make sure they push him well, they give him the right matchups, that they do everything in their power to make sure that Karrion Kross is looked at as a legitimate main eventer in the WWE. Okay, just making sure we're recording, everything is fine. All right, so that's gonna be it for this point. But honestly, Authors of Pain and Karrion Kross seem like a very good stable. Plus the fact of having Scarlett and Paul Ellering, it seems like a legitimate stable, not just three guys teaming up. You know, you have a lot of managers. It's built, and I like it like this. You know, I like when there's a lot of people in the faction, and it's not just like the wrestlers. There's also some people around that fill various roles and blah blah blah. And yeah, so we're gonna have to wait to see what happens in the next few weeks and what they decide to do with the stable. But you cannot let those talents go to waste. Karrion Kross is very talented and he has the looks of an actual wrestler. And then the Authors of Pain are a legitimately dominant tag team. And okay, they're not on the level of the Uzos, okay, that's for sure. But still, they could be champions, they can do well. Once again, WWE just got to make sure they use them properly and do the right things. But with Triple H as head of creative and having control of all of this, and Triple H, you know, as always liked his NXT guys, I don't necessarily see a world in which it fails. Not necessarily that it fails, but a world in which they're not used. Okay, Triple H has done a lot to push some of those younger talents and try to build the future of the company. Because yes, it's incredible that right now in the same roster we get to see Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, The Rock, whatever. Okay, as I've said in the past episode and in so many videos, this WrestleMania is going to be one of the most stacked WrestleManias ever. But you still got to take some time to build up your future and, you know, take those stars and push them to the next level, you know. But yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what they do with them. Next thing that happened on SmackDown, Kevin Owens won the tournament to become the number one contender to the to Logan Paul's United States Championship, and there was a confrontation between Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. And I don't necessarily want to talk about the confrontation itself. I want to talk more about the match that is going to happen at the Royal Rumble, and I honestly think it's gonna be a great match. Okay, first of all, these two on the mic are very good. Okay, they go back and forth very well, and I don't know how to explain it, but they just have personalities that like match together. Not in the way that they're the same personality, but more in the way that, you know, they complement one another. Okay, Logan Paul is very has a big ego. You know, he thinks he's better than everyone. He's cocky. And Kevin Owens is that kind of guy that likes to shut up those people, you know? So I think it's a great combination, and I think they're going to have a tremendous match. Okay, Logan Paul has been very, very impressive in the ring ever since he debuted. And Kevin Owens is always a solid pick for any matchup with anyone. So this match is going to happen at the Royal Rumble, and it's actually going to be a very great one. Okay, I can't wait to see this match, honestly. And it feels good to, you know, to see WWE putting back some efforts into the United States Championship, because for almost all its existence, the United States Championship was considered a secondary title compared to the Intercontinental Championship. And now the Intercontinental Championship is on Gunther's shoulder, but you know, it's been a while since he's been champion, and if you know me a little, you know I've been, you know, campaigning to take the title off of Gunther, not because I don't like Gunther, but it's been a long time, and we already have Roman Reigns with like 1,200 days as champion. We don't need someone else to have like an incredibly long reign. So, and also, in my opinion, Gunther is ready for a main event push, okay, eventually. So, and I think this title, the Intercontinental Championship, should be utilized to push some other competitors, as I just said, building the future, you know. So use this title to start building your other stars. But yeah, I'm glad they're giving some attention to the United States Championship. It's a big match, honestly. Like if you take Kevin Owens and Logan Paul, there are two guys that have recently fought Roman Reigns for his undisputed championship. There are two guys that have main evented shows against Roman Reigns, and they're fighting for a secondary title. So it's interesting, and it brings a lot of attention towards the title, and I just love to see this. Next piece of news, it's a big news, okay? This is just a rumor, okay? I say it every time. Don't take anything I say here for a fact, okay? I'm someone that loves rumors. I love to just read some stuff, hear some stuff, and be like, oh my gosh, this could be true. And like 75% of the time, it's not even true. But it's just fun to imagine what if that would have happened, you know? So there are rumors that Raw could be off cable networks and be, you know, and the TV rights to Raw could be bought by Amazon Prime, okay, Amazon Prime Video. And this is a big change because ever since Raw was created, it has always been on a TV cable, never on a streaming platform like Amazon Prime. Okay, the way it would work, it's very simple. You would buy your subscription to Prime Video, and you would get access each and every week to watching Raw. Now, I don't know exactly how it would work. Okay, those are just rumors, but with WWE being on fire right now, with all the big deals they're signing, with the formation of TKO, okay, WWE being bought by Endeavor, there's a lot of potential with wrestling right now, and a company like Amazon, who already has a lot of areas of effect, could very well be interested in buying Raw. And Prime Video, I'm not gonna get into a big like streaming platform debate, but Prime Video um, has been criticized for not having enough good content, comparing to platforms like Netflix, Disney Plus, whatever. But buying TV rights to Raw and starting to stream some Netflix, some wrestling, sorry, on their platform is a very big opportunity. So I very well see it happening. Is it gonna happen? I don't know, but it's something that could really happen. But once again, gotta wait and see. Okay, I'm gonna keep you posted, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna let you know what happened. Also, okay, quick note. I have my community tab, okay, on my channel where I post photos, I post news, I post whatever. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see there. I'm gonna post some small news or whatever stuff that I'm not necessarily be talking about in the podcast, or I'm gonna show you some samples of what you can see in the podcast. Just posting news, rumors, whatever. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. You're gonna get all of these new stuff that I'm posting. I'm posting normal videos. I'm posting the podcast. I'm posting shorts. I'm trying to be very active all around it on my channel. So make sure to subscribe, okay? It's free. It takes only a couple of seconds, and it helps me tremendously. Yeah, so now let's get back. Next point. I've mentioned Naomi potentially returning to the WWE. The rumors are getting stronger and stronger, apparently. Whenever her TNA contract expires, she would be returning to WWE. Once again, those are just rumors. Don't take anything for granted. But it would be cool to see Naomi come back to WWE. She'd be a great addition to the roster. She could help build younger stars. And, I just see a lot of potential with bringing back Naomi to the WWE. I've talked about this a lot in my previous podcast. If you haven't seen it, make sure to go watch it. But I'm not going to spend too much time, once again, talk about, it would be crazy if Naomi returned, blah, blah, blah. But, once again, it would just be a great addition to the roster. Now, getting back to SmackDown last week, there was a triple threat match between AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and LA Knight, with the winner getting to face Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. And the thing that happened is that during this match, Roman Reigns and the Bloodline just came running down the ramp, jumped in the ring and started attacking everybody, which caused the match to be ended. And then Nick Aldis, the general manager of SmackDown, informed Paul Heyman that because of those actions, Roman Reigns would have to defend his Undisputed Championship at the Royal Rumble in a fatal 4-way match. So that means that at the Royal Rumble, ladies and gentlemen, Roman Reigns is going to be defending the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship against Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight. And this is huge, okay? I'm going to be talking about LA Knight specifically in a couple of minutes, okay? Some more news and rumors regarding him. But yeah, it's actually going to be an incredible match, okay? I think a lot of people can remember the infamous triple threat match that happened at Royal Rumble 2015 between Brock Lesnar, John Cena, and Seth Rollins, which is one of my favorite matches. The fatal 4-way match between Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman at SummerSlam 2017, unless I'm mistaken. But yeah, having a fatal 4-way match or triple threat or whatever for a world championship with some of your biggest stars is always very exciting, because deep down you know that anybody in the match could walk out with the championship. Now it's kind of different because it's Roman Reigns, and with The Rock returning and the rumors of them having a match and blah blah blah. Roman Reigns isn't gonna lose this championship, that's for sure, but it's still gonna be a very very good match. Okay, Roman Reigns, who has been the top guy in WWE for almost 4 years now. AJ Styles recently returning, being as built as ever. Okay, he's always a solid pick in the ring. He can always provide a good match with anybody. Randy Orton, he's a legend at this point, future Hall of Famer, 14-time world champion. It's gonna be crazy. And LA Knight, the up-and-coming star, who has proven everybody wrong by showing them that he's actually very good and can hang out at the top of the division. So I don't have much to say about this match other than it's gonna be very very good. As we're getting closer to the Royal Rumble, the card is getting stacked. So just take some time and imagine how stacked the card is going to be for WrestleMania. Now you're starting to get it. It's gonna be crazy. Okay, but yeah, Fatal 4-Way match. You can very well expect Roman Reigns to retain his championship, but it's still gonna be very entertaining. We're probably gonna see the Bloodline interfere in one way or another, and from the rumors that I've heard, the main reason why they turned this into a Fatal 4-Way match, because the rumors back then were that it was just going to be a match between Roman Reigns and Randy Orton at the Royal Rumble. The reason that this match is now a Fatal 4-Way is because they didn't want Randy Orton to be pinned so soon, after his return, because right now he's looked at one of the top guys in the business. So you cannot necessarily hurt him by having him lose to Roman Reigns. So it's probably going to be LA Knight who's going to take the pinfall for Roman Reigns, because Randy Orton and AJ Styles both returned recently, and you want to keep their momentum. Okay, so it's nothing personal against LA Knight. It's just that he's the one that should take the pin, because the other two guys just returned and need to keep their momentum. And with Roman Reigns, winning, he's not going to take the pin. He's going to win. And even if Roman Reigns would lose, he'd probably not take the pin. If Roman Reigns was to lose his championship in a Fatal 4-Way match, he would probably not be the one to take the pin. It just makes sense. And I don't know if I've mentioned it in the past podcast, but there have recently been rumors of Roman Reigns actually retaining at WrestleMania and losing the title possibly around Survivor Series this year. Okay? It's a nightmare for some and it's a dream for others. But yeah, because they probably want to wait until the Raw deal is finalized, and they've set everything up for the post Roman Reigns era. It's probably going to become an era at this point, because Roman Reigns has become so huge that WWE needs to start planning for what's going to happen after Roman Reigns is gone. But yeah, and those deals would be set in like October. Survivor Series is in November, and you would possibly lose the title, all the way then, against Cody Rhodes. So yeah, and with rumors of him possibly defending the championship against Solo Sikoa at SummerSlam, which I really want to see. Honestly, it could be a very great match. Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. But once again, those are just rumors. Roman Reigns could even lose the championship at the Royal Rumble. Nothing is always 100% certain. WWE, we're never out of surprises. Yeah. Talking about the Royal Rumble, now I'm gonna make a dedicated video for this. But the big question right now is who's going to win the Royal Rumble, okay? And you can ask the same question for the men's Royal Rumble and the women's Royal Rumble, because there are a lot of great contenders. On the men's side, you have CM Punk, you have Cody Rhodes if you want to, once again. You could have Randy Orton, you could have AJ Styles, you could have LA Knight, you could have Gunther. There are a lot of solid picks, but as I've mentioned previously, it's the problem is that the WrestleMania matches are already set, pretty much. Roman Reigns is either going to defend the championship against The Rock or Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, and Seth Rollins is most likely going to defend against CM Punk. And the thing is that all those matchups don't need a Royal Rumble win, and that's a problem. If we have Roman Reigns versus The Rock, we do agree that The Rock doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble, okay, just with the whole Bloodline storyline and whatever. A Royal Rumble win is not going to help The Rock in any way, shape, or form, Against Cody Rhodes, doesn't need it either. Cody Rhodes has won the Royal Rumble last year. You can have him win it 2 years in a row. And then for Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, they're already hating one another. Okay, they want to rip each other's skin. Not in a good way. Okay, just But yeah, so even if CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble, it's not going to change anything. We already know he's going after Seth Rollins, and if he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, he's probably still going after Seth Rollins. The only thing I would see is someone winning the Royal Rumble and making whichever title match a triple threat match. It's gonna be a bit sketchy, but honestly, I'm gonna make a whole video dedicated to this, to my predictions for the Royal Rumbles. Same thing for the Women's Royal Rumble, because it's very confusing right now, and WWE is stacked. Okay, there are a lot of big names in the company, as I mentioned before: Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, John Cena, The Rock, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, Karen Cross, if you want to count him, Drew McIntyre, um, Sami Zayn is a big name as well, but like still, and Brock Lesnar rumored to return and blah blah blah. There are a lot of big names in WWE right now, but you can't give all of those big names a championship match at WrestleMania. It's just not possible. Yeah. So, but yeah, there was an altercation, a confrontation between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk on Monday Night Raw. Um, actually yesterday as I'm recording this. And big confrontation. CM Punk told Drew McIntyre that nobody was gonna stop him from winning the Royal Rumble. Drew told Punk that he built himself. With no help, and that he doesn't need anyone to succeed, and blah blah blah. So it's very confusing right now, but I can assure you the Royal Rumble match is gonna be entertaining. Whoever wins this thing, okay, unless it's like Jinder Mahal. Talking about Jinder Mahal, what a cool transition. Jinder Mahal is set to face Seth freaking Rollins for his World Heavyweight Championship on Monday Night Raw next week. Okay, you can go watch this segment on WWE's YouTube channel. Okay, I don't want to spoil too much, but Jinder Mahal, confronted Seth Rollins and demanded a championship match. Drew claimed, I was once WWE champion, blah blah blah. And yeah, so for next week's is Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins is going to defend his World Heavyweight Championship against Jinder Mahal. It's, I've never been a huge fan of Jinder Mahal, but I think it can still be a great match. And one thing that I love is that there are rumors that Damon Priest could actually be cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase, this next Monday on Raw. Okay, is he gonna succeed? Is he not gonna succeed? That's up to WWE. But Damon Priest has been senior Money in the Bank for like 6-7 months now. Okay, and it would eventually be time for him to cash in. And let's say that he does end up cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase and winning the entire thing. Well, that is very interesting, because that means that it changes the course of the road to WrestleMania. It could change the course of the Royal Rumble, whatever. And we could still have Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, because this match doesn't necessarily need the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, it would be better with it, but it doesn't necessarily need it. You could have Damon Priest lose the championship to someone else eventually, and you could set up a big match for WrestleMania. Okay, I'm gonna give you an idea. Okay, Damon Priest cashes in during the match between Seth Rollins and Jinder Mahal, makes it a triple threat match, pins Jinder Mahal, and becomes World Heavyweight Champion. He has his moment of glory, and it's kind of a way for WWE to thank him for everything he's done, because Damon Priest has been very impressive recently, and he's been working very hard, so I think he deserves recognition. Then at the Royal Rumble, he defends the championship, not at the Royal Rumble, at the Elimination Chamber. He defends the championship against whoever, honestly. Against whoever. Okay, make a switch from Raw and SmackDown and have Randy Orton beat him for the championship, and have it so that Priest loses because Finn Balor interfered in the match and attacked him. And then at WrestleMania, have Randy Orton defend the World Heavyweight Championship against AJ Styles, have Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, doesn't need a title, and have Damon Priest taking on Finn Balor to end the Judgment Day once and for all. There's a lot of possibilities. So that's what I'm saying right now, with WWE needing to find a way to put, to give everybody a match and put everybody in a good spot for WrestleMania. because you have a lot of big names and you got to make sure that all those big names are being utilized and they're not just left in a corner or put in a random battle royal, you know. So, once again, those are just rumors. Is Damon Priest actually gonna cash in? I don't know. I really don't know. But if yes, I'm gonna be one of the first ones to cover it up and tell you guys all about the rumors and my predictions for what's coming up next in WWE. Moving on, not everybody's favorite, Matt Riddle, in an interview recently talked about the original plans for him and Randy Orton. He didn't reveal any specific plan, okay? He wanted to keep it a secret in case he ever returned to WWE. But he kind of implied, and we could see through. He implied that eventually there was going to be a match between him and Randy Orton, okay? One of them would have turned on the other and they would have faced off in a big match, possibly at WrestleMania. So, would you have wanted to see Matt Riddle face Randy Orton in a match, possibly at WrestleMania? Tell me in the comments. Next up, I talked about LA Knight previously and potential plans for him. And there are rumors for him for WrestleMania, possibly facing AJ Styles, okay? First of all, this would make an incredible match. And with the whole fatal four-way thing at the Royal Rumble, it could set it up. And I actually see a rivalry between both of them, okay? LA Knight is a babyface right now, and AJ Styles is a heel. They're both very talented individuals, and they both want to prove that they deserve their spot at the top, okay? LA Knight wants to prove he can belong at the top, and AJ Styles wants to prove that he still belongs at the top, even after being absent and blah, blah, blah. Other rumors, okay, once again, just rumors, say that LA Knight could possibly face John Cena at WrestleMania, okay? Maybe this would be John Cena's last match. We don't know the exact plans for this, but a possible match between LA Knight and John Cena would actually be very good, and John Cena could help LA Knight, getting built up and whatever. It just depends, because John Cena's gonna stay a face, until the day he retires, and LA Knight is a babyface right now as well. So unless you have LA Knight turn, it's going to be a weird face versus face match. Good guy. But those are just rumors. Okay, my job is to bring you guys all those rumors, and you do whatever you want with them. Okay, believe them, don't believe them. It's up to you. But I'm just here to talk about those rumors and lay the facts for you. Now, only 2 news left. Okay, it's going to be a 35-minute episode, something like this. Let's talk about someone that I love very dearly, and I hope that those rumors are true. Andrade. Yeah, I've said it many times. I've always loved Andrade El Idolo, Andrade Cien Almas, whatever. There are once again rumors of his return. He was apparently pulled from indie shows recently because of all of the rumors surrounding a WWE return. If he returns, in my opinion, it's going to be at the Royal Rumble, okay? In one of the entrance spots, you're going to hear his theme song. He's going to come back, big pop, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be very fun. But, then you got to find out what are going to be the plans with him after. As I once again talked about this in my previous episode of the Villain Arc, so go check it out if you haven't. But, I would see him go and challenge for a mid-card championship, either the United States Championship or the Intercontinental Championship. But he's always a solid pick. He gives great matches, has great character, and his time in AEW helped him develop and become much more of a bigger star. So when he returns to the WWE, he's going to be looked at not just like a random guy, but a very good guy and someone you can rely on to be Intercontinental or United States Champion. So yeah. Andrade, if you're watching this, you're probably not, but if you're watching this, return. That's all I'm asking from you. Thank you. And final piece of news, you've probably seen it all around. It's big news. There was a recent show of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, I don't know too much about New Japan, but I think it was Wrestle Kingdom 18. And there was a match between Jon Moxley, Will Ospreay, and David Finlay for the IWGP United States / United Kingdom Championship. I'm going off of what I remember. But yeah, a match between these 3 guys for the championship. David Finlay ended up winning the match. And then he was confronted by none other than Dolph Ziggler. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Dolph Ziggler is back in wrestling, back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's now using his real name, which is Nic Nemeth, and possibly challenging David Finlay for the championship. I'm very sorry. But yeah, I'm just very glad to see Ziggler back in action, and he's going to be a big star in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I feel like it's a place where he can actually develop and become big. Okay, it could be one of the big names there eventually. And there are so many great matches for him, honestly. He's always been incredible in the ring, one of the best sellers the WWE has ever seen, or the wrestling world has ever seen. He is incredible. And he's always been more of a wrestler than, a guy on the mic or whatever, even though he was very good on the mic. And New Japan Pro Wrestling is way much more centered around the matches themselves. So I think it's a great spot for Ziggler to rebuild himself, let's say. Lots of big opportunities for him. A wide variety of matches he could have. So many possible opponents. So yeah, try to keep up with New Japan, okay? Or try to keep up with this podcast. I'll probably be covering everything that Dolph Ziggler does. And actually, that'll be it for this second episode of the Villain Arc, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm currently planning a lot of future episodes with some guests, with some friends, whatever. But I have a lot of great ideas for the podcast. So if you want to see, or hear those great ideas, just subscribe. Not that complicated. You just click the button, you're subscribed, okay? And if in 2 weeks you don't like my channel anymore, just unsubscribe, okay? It's that simple. It's free. I'm not going to charge you anything. I'm just going to thank you a lot, okay? Big thank you to everybody who's always subscribed. Thank you for all the comments, all the likes, blah, 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 for all the support on this. It's been amazing. So once again, okay, the Villain Arc, new episode every Wednesday at 10 a.m., okay? Except for the first episode you may have seen. I posted the first episode originally on my second channel, but I realized it was probably a better idea to bring it on my main channel, because my main channel is where you guys already know me, you've already seen my face, and I have the reputation of making videos where I talk about random stuff related to wrestling, obviously. So yeah, I brought back the Villain Arc on the main channel, and I posted the first episode actually on Friday, I believe. So it was an exception, but from now on, each and every single Villain Arc episode will be posted every Wednesday at 10 a.m. other for special episodes, okay? As I mentioned, there will be some special episodes where we will receive guests and not necessarily be talking about wrestling itself, but what they do in wrestling or wide variety of stuff. And those episodes will be posted on random dates, okay? I will be announcing them in my community tab. Another reason to subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I don't want to waste too much of your time. Once again, this episode is also available on Spotify. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you for all the support. Wrestling is crazy right now. We're having so much fun. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.